Here we are, putting up rows, getting ready for fertilizer later on this year. But we lay out our rows and then we come back and rerun them by putting out fertilizer. It's an old traditional kind of farming, but that's what we do down here in South Texas. There's some guys that are starting to do strip till and flat farming. I think it's almost half and half nowadays, but this is what I'm doing for now. I do plan on investing in a strip till machine and give it a shot, see what happens. You got to try something new. You know, you can't just stick to the old ways. Just, I guess you can, but as far as I'm concerned, it's always good to try something new. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, well. We're doing a little 7-acre patch. It's kind of a hassle. I don't know if you can see that bridge right there, but since my 8-row bar won't fit through there, I have to move in the 2 outside units, and it's a kind of a hassle. But anyway, do what you gotta do. Be either corn or sorghum next year. I'm not 100% decided on it yet. Well, I'm heading back home. Have one more field to put up rows on, but we had about a ½ inch of rain yesterday, and I still have too much trash. I had some volunteer corn come up, and I ran a disc through it, and it just didn't. I cleaned it up, but I'm just choking up too much. So my next plan is I'm gonna get the disc. Once it dries up a little bit, I'm gonna run it through again, chop up that those corn stalks, and then I'll finish putting up the rows. Putting up the rows won't take long. It's only about 50 acres. I already got everything else up in rows, so I'm not too concerned. But it's that time of year where it can go to raining, and it might not stop until, you know, planting season. So we'll see what happens then. You know, being a mechanic at a tractor dealership, I've worked on Deere, Case, Kubotas, Massey Ferguson, New Holland. Right now I work at a dealer. I've been there for about almost 10 years now. It used to be a John Deere dealer. Now we deal with Massey Ferguson and New Holland. So I've driven quite a few different brands of tractors, and this 8670 with the front suspension and the cab suspension is one of the smoothest riding tractors I've ever been in. Going down the road doing 30 miles an hour, I mean, you couldn't tell. Not to say that the other tractors are not good. I mean, I believe there's your main brand of tractors out there that are just top of the line. But this one, I think, is up there with the rest of them. I don't think people give them as much credit as they should. Transmission, I know it's a Fendt transmission, so credit to Fendt for having a damn well built CVT. But I think coupled with the 8.4 liter Sisu engine in front of it, and just the overall design, I would say that the Massey, it's a I guess it's one blunt way of saying it, is the poor man's Fendt. But there's, again, nothing wrong with it. This Massey does everything that I put it up against. Great hydraulics. I really wish it would have the the same 100-gallon pumps that Fendt runs, but for what I use it, this thing does everything that I need it to do. I like the controls. I like the everything is real basic. It's not too fancy. It's fancy, but it's not too fancy. Like, again, being the fact that I'm a mechanic at a dealer, I've come to find that the fancy stuff is very nice until it doesn't work. Unfortunately, I think we live in a society of throwaway. We're not going to see tractors lasting 40-50 years like they used to. Now, the engine, transmission, and rear end might, but the electronics won't. And once you don't have the electronics working for you, once the dealer stops supporting your electronics, it's just a paperweight. It's not like your 4430 John Deere's or your 1086 Internationals or your 1130 Masseys, or the older generation of stuff that even up to the 90s. If your tractor broke something, usually with mechanical lever, you can weld a rod on it and you keep on going. With this electronics, that's not going to be the case. And I think realistically, if you have a new tractor for more than 10 years, you're doing pretty good. But as soon as that dealer stops giving you support on your computers, your electronics, you have nothing. So yeah, we live in a throwaway society. Maybe we'll get better, but I don't think so. And that goes for all brands. That's not just Massey, that's not just whoever. Everyone's going the same direction. The more electronics, the easier the operation becomes, but the less time you'll have with the new tractor. And I can see why manufacturers are doing that. Who the hell would want to sell a tractor that you're going to own for 50 years? Yeah, that's not a money-making plan there. So anyway, I'll make some more videos as I finish putting up rows, and then I got to put up fertilizer, and then I'll make some videos for planting season. But we'll go from there.